All right, everybody, let's get started. Let me get a little chat back. If everybody can hear loud and clear, just do a quick audio check. See you all. All right, everybody. Everyone. All right, perfect. All right, welcome back, everybody, to the morning meeting here at Cyber Trade University. My name is Fausto. I'm your host, and you know that on Mondays, not seeing a lot going on. Other than we heard about a really nice merger going on with Discovery and AT&T. So apparently, he said that deal they did in 2018 wasn't really a good deal that they did with Time Warner. But looks like Discovery Channel obviously making a little bit of pickup. Those couple of stocks that we traded. Regarding about last week, I thought last week was a really good week for me. Last week, the week before was not really good for me. So I'm trying to play catch up on some of my losses from the following week. But last week was pretty good. Listen, summer's here. Weather's going to be great. Taxes are due today. So hopefully make sure you get your taxes done. So there's going to be a couple of stocks making some move. I'm not seeing that much action in the market. Like a typical Monday, the Dow, what's the Dow doing right now? What do we got going on? I know we were down a little bit more. How much are we down now? We didn't make a big comeback at all. Yeah, we're down like 135. We're back at the same spot that we were earlier. But I did go long a bunch of certain stocks. Obviously, you heard the big news that came out last week. The CDC started lifting all mask mandates. Certain states, obviously, I don't know why they're in denial or whatever, but, it was pretty unbelievable, crazy how it just became, they wanted to do it, and all of a sudden it changed in a heartbeat. And I think it kind of gave a little jump in the market. And you know what? If they basically were to go out and do something with the unemployment checks also, which some states already are rejecting it, I think that would put another big jolt in job claims. Listen, you got to keep an eye on what's going on in the news, because this is going to affect every stock that we trade in the market. So the way I look at it, that's going to give us a good 3 months, maybe 6 months, because by the time these things kick in, whatever, that's what the issue is. The only concern I have, and I want to point this out, is I think the biggest issue is not going to be about, not just the masks coming off and everybody going back to their normal lives. A big issue is going to be inflation. So it's funny, but if you talk to people, they don't understand what inflation is. So let me tell you a little story, and then we're going to get to the watch list. So I want you guys to be very, very careful, because I told you about this several months ago. We saw what's going on with lumber. Now, people they don't, unless you go out there and you're going to build something, most people don't have the concept. Millennials don't build anything, they're not going to go out there and buy a piece of wood and start making themselves a desk or whatever. So they don't get it. But when you're buying a house, I heard over the weekend, a friend of mine was building a house, and he told him, says, listen, I'm sorry that, I'm just telling you right now, I'm not making any money, but his cost of building a house went up by $40,000 to build a house. Now, I think it was going to cost about $250,000, had to pay another $40,000. And this bid went in about 2 months ago. So that's going to be a big issue that people are going to start to realize. So that's going to cause issue. I'll tell you what the biggest issue is going to be. I have a lot of people in the restaurant business. I being in New York, being Italian, I cook, I do everything. So I know a lot of some of the top celebrity chefs here in the area. And this is pretty crazy. So they told me that you better buy the filet mignon. If you don't buy it now, they said that basically they were paying about $17 a pound for filet prime, because a lot of restaurants that I know are more steakhouses. It was $17 a pound. Okay, the following week, then the week after, it went to 24. He says, listen, I'm telling you right now, it's going to 30 next week. So it's going to double. So meat, if you shop for meat, you're going to notice meat's going to go up. Hamburgers, great hamburgers here, nice big burgers, famous burgers in New York are like $15. They already told me, hey, we're raising to 20. And people are going to be like, they're going to go to the stores like, wait a minute, and that's when you're going to people start realizing, going to their favorite restaurants or whatever, and be like, whatever. I'm like, $20 for a burger. What happened? That's inflation. It's going to happen. So be very, very careful. I think that's going to be the biggest news that might hold down the market. Another thing I heard that I was talking about, so not only that, but I went to a really great restaurant this weekend that a friend of mine owns, and half his staff was not even there. He was mobbed. He was actually the bartender. The head chef was being the bartender. Half the waiters didn't show up. You know, I mean, like, you can't find anybody. So, I mean, the money's there. People want to spend it, but no one's going to work. So I see you're going to see two things, and all the cost of food is going to go up. So I think that's what we're going to be focused on, the stock market. We got to keep an eye on the market on certain stocks that are going to get affected by that. But keep an eye on, that. Planet Burgers may become more popular than Michael said. Yeah, it's possible. I mean, listen, inflation's inflation. You know why? It's not about plant-based or whatever. It's not about the meat. If no one's out there, harvesting or whatever, that's what's causing it. Listen, lumber has nothing to do with it. Look what's happened. Lumber, $72 for a piece of plywood. $72. I can't believe that. I literally did some work on my house. I was paying $25 last year. $72. Unbelievable. Anyway, let's go through the watch list because there were a couple of stocks that we did really well last week. I want to start off with LEDS. Leeds was a really nice pop yesterday on Friday. This is the stock that basically traded, made my money, and that was basically it. I called it quits after this game. Off to this stock right here. You can see the stock literally ran. Oh, sorry about that. You probably can't see it as well. Right around here, you can see at 9:30, this thing just did a little bit of a shake, and then bam, it popped up. I was the right place, the right time. I know some of you guys saw the same thing. It did a shake right here. And I'll zoom in there so you guys can see a little bit better. Had that nice little shake right here, right around that 660, and then the thing just got halted and went up, shot all the way to $9. That was done after that one stock. And you know what? She did pretty well going into the close. You could see she had this crazy pop right here, right after hours, which I don't know how this came from. This thing literally went from 850 all the way up to 11. Now we saw the stock right around 330. It ran from 8. And it kind of stopped at 850, but like after hours, 30 minutes later, this thing was just a great animal. Nice little run up. Another stock that moved pretty well was the PLTR. This one did really well too on Friday for us. It had this nasty shake. It was going up and down. It was literally going from like $19 down to 18, 19, very nasty. And then finally it broke it. This is really where everyone should have probably got in, right around this 1920. And then she just moved up really nicely up until about 11:30. She ran to about 1990. So not a huge winner, but she was a pretty comfortable winner. And then you had the TIGR. That was another nice little pop at the open. Did it shake? Did it slingshots? And then obviously went from 1520 all the way to 1710. Unfortunately, we haven't had any good 200, 300% movers like we usually do. We don't usually get a lot of them. Last week, we really didn't have too many of them. But Friday is always that day. We always remind ourselves, and Josh always says it all the time. It's Friday. Take your money and run. That's about it. Okay. So Mondays, same thing. You come back from the weekend. People are, dragging their feet. Not really that much news. We got some, I don't know what's happening, in the Middle East regarding about the unsettlement affecting the market as much. I don't see it that much going on, but I am really, really concerned about the inflation regarding about it. I think now that the mask is going to come off, hopefully that will be a quick little jolt, a punch in the arm to get a nice little jolt of pop. But inflation, we got to keep a very close eye on it. Now, regarding about what's moving, this morning there were a couple of stocks that were moving. I mean, I saw the CALA moving. It kind of went up. It had a nice little pop right here, nice little push. I was looking on level 4. It's kind of died. You had a couple of big orders that came in here. You could see right here, had a nice little move, had some news. Not really that big of a fan of it right now. But listen, stocks like this, they hold here, and eventually they make a big move. I mean, it got some good volume, traded 1 million shares already in pre-market. We'll keep an eye on that one. DBGI, another one. This looks like an IPO. I don't know what happened. This thing made a big jolt early this morning on 4 o'clock in the morning, ran from 3 to 9 and just came right back down. It's up 34%. 5 million shares already traded. We'll see how that one pans out once the market opens up. Like I said, not a huge fan of certain one of the stocks. Now we know about the Discovery buyout, DISK. Obviously, there's more than one stock. There must be a warrant out there. These stocks are one of the big runners up. We all know about It was this one, Viacom, all of them right here. VI, yeah, here it is, right here, number 11. So number 11 was volume. These are stocks that, were manipulated. You heard about this whole story about this stock, but this one went from like 34 to 100 and just got crushed. Went only back down to 30. These are all these stocks that really went up. But Discovery obviously moving due to the merger that's going on. We'll see if it gets passed. But you can see these stocks up a little bit. They're not up terrible. AT&T was basically a little bit of a good swing trade, but it's nothing crazy. I'm not super impressed. DISA is another one that obviously same thing with DISCK. There you have that one. ARPO looks pretty interesting. This one is going up a little nicely. It's almost 9 million shares. Got a nice little trend. It's cheap. It's a nice level one stock. Everybody, beginners could trade it. You could trade a lot of shares if you're more an advanced trader. It's not a terrible stock. This one looks also pretty good. Now, well, listen, all the blockchains are getting hit very hard. Matter is down 10%. Riot is down at 10%. All these stocks are obviously getting hit, but they're not going down that much. Looks like they just gapped down from Friday. If I just change the chart, you could see it right there. But they're not moving very nicely. And you should have known when we traded the stock a couple of weeks, when we got out of it, we had this big rally with the blockchain. But listen, when we started breaking right around this 40s, the writing's on the wall. If you didn't get out, look, you're down to 20. All right. We're coming up to some major support levels. I think it's going to probably get down in the teens. But remember, this stock was literally like $3, back in November. So a lot of hype going on with them. There's always new ones that come that obviously move. So don't fall in love with these stocks, okay? So don't think you missed the boat. There are always brand new ones every day. And you can see coins obviously taking a hit. Coin, now be very careful. I mean, it's major support levels right around 250. Looks like it wants to break it. Boyle, I thought that was pretty good. Didn't scratch that one out. That's about it. I mean, we'll find out if anything opens up coming out of the gate, but when the market opens up. But as of right now, be really, really careful, jumping in, and always remember the first 5 minutes. All right, so that pretty much does it. We're planning on having a good week. Don't forget to use everyone here out of state. Remember, the 31st is Memorial Day. That next week, next Friday, maybe even Thursday, could be those are one of the slowest days of the market. I mean, really, really, really slow. So listen, everybody wants to go away. Everyone wants to get out. Those are the days you want to keep focused on. This is what we train for. Make our money midweek. Enjoy the weekend. Now, don't forget, everybody, Josh just put up on the list. Phase 1, if you're a student of Cyber Trade University, Phase 1 starts today, and we are going to start from the beginning. We changed our structure of our courses. Instead of just doing things more repetitive, we spend more time, we emphasize more about a specific topic. So we're going to go back to where we were in January. A new cycle of the class is going to start, and here's your opportunity to do that. So don't forget to be there, because this is where you learn, to not make those mistakes when you start getting into the trading. So remember, you got to learn before you can earn. And if you want to find out more, if you're in the trading room, just like us, friend us, and we'll be happy to tell you more about it. All right, guys. So listen, we're back here at 2:30, back on YouTube and Facebook. Cyber Group members in the trading room. We'll start commentary once the market opens up. Okay. Just remember, don't get too cocky. It's Monday. If you do well, just take the money and run. And see you back tomorrow. That's what's great about trading. All right. Good luck, everyone. Happy trading.